it's Oa and welcome back to my channel for another video, and today I will be sharing with you guys my 2022 October weekly spreads. I have 5 of them for you today, and I have a black cat and pumpkin theme. And as I am very devoted to my themes, you can see that I did some pumpkin nails to go along with my theme and this video. And before we get any further, I just wanted to let you know that all of my supplies will be in the description box down below, including a promo code to get your own Dingbat notebook, which is the notebook that I am currently using. You can get 10% off with the code OA10, and all of my other supplies will be in the description box down below. I am doing a quick interruption in this video to let you know about my shop. I sell digital versions of my bullet journal, and if you want to get these spreads as well as all of my October spreads, you still can, even though the month is already started. I do undated planners as well as regular bullet journals, so you can still get this theme but get it for any month. So the link will be in the description box down below. Don't forget to check it out if you like any of the stuff that you see here. So for this first October weekly spread, I went with a totally different layout that I never tried before, and since it is already the first week of October when I am posting this, I already have been using it and love it because there's a lot of space for planning. For the dimensions, the main double boxes are 24 squares by 11 squares with a 1 square header at the top, which I will fill in black with a white gel pen to write on it. So that's the 3 main boxes. They all have 1 in between for the 2 on the right side. For the event section, it is 5 squares below the Monday and Tuesday, and it is 12 by 21 with 2 squares on the left side left for the titles. So that's just for the basics of the dimensions. Also, all the boxes are separate down the middle to separate each day, so that's about 12 squares, and I have 1 little box at the bottom for the Sunday, and that one is just 12 squares wide and the same height. And all the space that is left I used for doodles. So you can see here that I was doing the mini calendar. On top of it, I have this bloody font that I think is really fitting for October, so that's where I have which week it is, and then underneath it I just have a note section. I just have it to fill out the space because I didn't know what else to add. And on top of this note section, I have a cute little black cat which is just sitting here. I was pretty surprised at how easy a cat is to draw, especially black cats, because you don't have to do any details because you just fill it all out in black once it is outlined. And you can also fix mistakes pretty easily, because if you mess up, then you can just go over with the black and just kind of fix your mistakes as you go. Obviously it doesn't work for any mistakes, but I found that it was pretty helpful to have them all in black. And then I left the eyes in yellow. I just thought that it gave them a lot of personality, and that is also why I highlighted the week in the media calendar in yellow, just to have a little bit of coherence in the colors. And then in the left corner, right corner on the right page, I have 2 pumpkins with a cat kind of climbing on it, sitting, climbing. Pumpkins are actually pretty simple to draw as well. I am pretty sure in the next weekly spread I have a little bit more of a close-up shot of how I draw them, so I will explain that in a little bit. I just added another cat on the event section with the title, and also made with the white gel pen all of the headers for each day of the week. So that is pretty much it for this first weekly spread, and we can move on to the second one. Which is a lot more simple, but there's also a lot more doodles to it, which I love so much. I usually find those kind of spreads really therapeutic to make. They do take a little bit more time, so if you don't have as much time, this is maybe not the spread for you. But I personally love, you could do this and maybe just outline and say every day you take 5 minutes to color each day, so you can have a little bit of coloring every day. But honestly, that's just my favorite part of those kind of spreads. So you can see that I added a mini calendar, and as well as this kind of lettering that is kind of fancy lettering that I found. I found it on Pinterest, which if you want to go follow me on Pinterest, it is in the description box down below, as well as all of my other social medias. But now I am at drawing the first pumpkins. So the way I did it, I have the first section with the mini calendars, which is 7 squares tall, and then each section underneath it and on the other side of the page is 8 squares tall. And to draw a pumpkin, it is super easy. I dedicated myself 8 squares wide for the doodles, so it will be equal for each one. And you start with the middle string. I would highly suggest doing it in pencil first, just so it's easier. But you can draw the first oval in the middle, and then draw on each side 2 curves that come from the top all the way to the bottom. The curvier you make it, the larger the pumpkin will be, and then the smallest, the taller the pumpkin will be. It is kind of like parentheses. Not sure if it's the right word. If it isn't, I will put it on the screen. But basically that's kind of how you draw pumpkins. And then the way I did it, I used some shading. I used a lighter shade of orange for the body of the pumpkin, and then on the extremities I added a tiny little bit of a darker orange, which I blended in with the lighter shade of orange, so that it gives them a little bit more dimension and it's not as simple. I really like that effect, and it's something that is really easy to do and gives so much more effect on your drawing and make it seem so much more professional at the same time. I added a couple black cats here and there. I also found all of my black cat poses on Pinterest. I just looked up cat silhouette, and it just gave me a bunch of poses, and then I just adapted them to the pumpkins that I wanted them to be on. So the last section at the bottom right has the little cat on the right, and then on the left side I have a note section that is just something that I like. It acts as a brain dump. Basically you can do anything you want with it. And then underneath the week, so October, and then the days for that day, that week, I added another black cat. This one is walking, and I just have a little close-up of that. And then I added the days of the week over the pumpkins. And that's basically it for the second weekly spread. And we are over halfway through this video with the third weekly spread, which, fun fact, is actually the fourth one I made, but I stuck 2 pages together when I was recording, flipping through the pages to move on, and I didn't realize that I missed a weekly spread until I went to do the final flip through and caught on that there was a blank page in the middle. So for this weekly spread, I did a kind of alternating box layout. Each box is 18 by 9 squares, and each box starts from the side of the page. And the first box is starting on the left side of the page, and then the second one on the right side, so it gives this alternating feeling. And each box has 1 square in between, and I have 7 boxes, 1 for each day, and then just a blank section on the right side where there's would be a 8th box. And then inside of each box, I just have a 1 square tall and 6 square wide line of color, which are orange or black, also alternating in between each box. And those are to add the names of the days for which day of the week it is. And then in each section in between where it is empty, I just added a bunch of pumpkins or a cat. The first blank has a mini calendar. The second one has a little black cat kind of climbing or stretching. The third one has a stack of pumpkins. I have 3 pumpkins there, which was really fun to do. Stacking pumpkins is fun to draw. And then I just have a cat kind of laying on a pumpkin for the bottom one. And then on the other side, just the same thing with a cat kind of on the side of a pumpkin, which also is super cute, and one laying on the Sunday box. And then I added a note section over on the right corner, which is 9 square wide. So you can have a to-do list or notes or whatever you want. You could add more doodles at the very bottom of the spreads if you wanted to, but I didn't see the need of, because it's already pretty big boxes with a lot of space for each day. And that brings on to our final and last weekly spread. For this last weekly spread, I went for a vertical layout with a bunch of just vertical boxes. Each one is 8.5 by 22 tall for each day, and I have a 5 tall headspace for events, so it is kind of separate from the task or anything else from that day. And as you can see, I can only fit 6 of those boxes all across the double pages, leaving 1 square in between each time. So at the bottom of it, I have on the right side the Sunday box, and the Sunday box is 19 by 11, and I aligned it with the end of the last box, so it is kind of symmetrical and kind of looks good. And I added a streak of dark or black Tombow marker, and on on it the white gel pen for adding the days, and then some yellow to bring out my accent color for the dates of the week. And then you can see that I am making some more pumpkins. So I have 2 pumpkins and 2 cats for the left side. I have a problem with left and right, sorry for that. So for the left side, one is showing his back so he doesn't have eyes, and then the one at the bottom is really cute but was really hard to do. And then to finish it off, I added a stacked pumpkin, so a big one on its side and a tiny one on top next to the sundae box. And that is pretty much it for this video. We went through all of my October weekly spread. I hope this gave you a little bit of inspiration and layout idea for your own bullet journal. Feel free to tag me in recreation on social media, and I will obviously leave them all in the description box down below. Don't forget to check out my shop, and the next bullet journal video will be my November spreads, so don't forget to check out that one when it comes out by turning on the notification bell so you get notified whenever I am posting a new video. Enjoy this little final flip through of all the weekly spreads, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!